Did you know that this is the National Year of the Garden? So in honor of that, and because so many of us just love gardening, over the next few weeks we're going to be exploring some gardening topics, just looking at the basics, speaking with some experts, and getting our hands dirty. Well, today we're going to learn to make one of these your own hanging flower basket. Joining me now is Tim Walsh at the Botanical Gardens. So, Tim, what are the basics here? What are the basic ingredients? Where do you start if you want to make one of these?
We've had these baskets at the Botanical Garden for more than 20 years now.
Really?
And we just reuse them over and over again. What we've been doing the last few years, however, using local moss, sphagnum moss that's just collected in the wild. So I'm literally just going to line the bottom of that with that sphagnum, and I'm going to just take pieces of it. You can see I'm just pressing it up against the side, and I think that's pretty much it. So this is what it looks like on the inside, but look at the outside.
I hadn't even thought about going
Isn't
to
it?
into the woods to grab some of that.
We could fill this up right now and that would be perfect, but I also like to put one other thing in here to make sure that the moisture is held on for a little bit of time. So if you think about when we water our houseplants, often houseplants have a little saucer that sits underneath so that the water doesn't spill out onto the coffee table. And then that water sits there and gets absorbed back up into the plant as it needs it. We're going to kind of create that same sort of thing at the bottom of this pot. And all I've got is a little piece of garbage bag that I sliced into a square. And I'm going to push that in the middle. I'm not lining the whole container. I'm basically just creating at the bottom a little saucer. And what will happen is when we water that plant on, especially on really dry days, the water, of course, is going to make its way down through the soil, and some of it will hold up on that piece of plastic and kind of act as that saucer. And now I'm going to take that soil and I'm going to bury that plastic. Continue to fill that up. So I'm going to get our soil in here and just throw in a few pots of soil, knowing that we're going to be displacing some. The other thing we're going to do now with our open fingers is just to press it. Why don't you do a little bit of that? Yeah, just press that in there. And what we're not packing it down really tight. We're just pressing it in nice and gently. We're moving in air spaces.
Okay.
Because what happens if you don't do that, when you water, the soil just slumps and you're left with not enough soil in there. Feels good, doesn't it?
It does.
Yeah. Now comes the fun time. It's planting time. There's a concept in containers called thrillers, fillers, and spillers.
Oh.
And if you think about that, the thriller is that big plant in the middle or at the back, depending on your orientation, and that's going to be the big showpiece. And then the spillers are, by their very nature, those plants that kind of spill down over the side. So that's like the petunia that we have here. It's going to spill down over the side and create that drama. And then between those are the fillers. And those are important plants too, but they don't have that big showy top or that big spill, but they fill in those spaces in between. So those geraniums, either of those geraniums, whichever one that jumps out at you.
Oh, well, I love this.
That's a nice one.
It's
hey?
beautiful.
Yeah, beautiful deep pink color.
Yep.
And so yeah, geraniums are great because they do have an upright branching habit and lots of beautiful blooms. And so we're just going to take that out with our hand, open up a little cavity, and literally just push that in there.
So this one will go in the middle.
That's in the middle. There's our thriller.
Oh, that's beautiful. What's this?
That's a verbena. And look at the combination. Look at how those accent each other. Yeah, they complement each other. And so we're going to take that out. That one's got a little bit more root. See that? So we are going to loosen. You can even see where the roots are starting to curl a little bit here. So we'll just loosen those up just a tiny bit, just something like that. And we're going to just open up a cavity in the side here and just push that in there. One of the more common and more widely used and probably been used forever in hanging baskets is lobelia, flowering lobelia. And this is a beauty. This one is this beautiful blue flowers.
Gorgeous.
Incredible. It also comes in white, it comes in pink, so you can really complement your container by deciding which plants that work best for you. And
really pops next to the pink.
It does,
too.
yeah. And we're just going to push that in there near the edge. I'm even tilting it a little bit toward the side so that I'm going to encourage that plant to grow down.
So this is the spiller.
That's the spiller. That's one of them anyways. We're not going to be limited to just one, because why when you don't have to? Sometimes you buy the plants from your nursery and they're in containers like this. So this is actually a peat tray and there's 6 plants in here. And so we'll just use a basic kitchen knife and I'm going to literally just cut those out like it was like I'm cutting out a brownie from the kitchen. And there's my little plant. Look at that. And so I'm opening up a little cavity. I'm going to push that in there And you can see this container already filling up.
So this would be one of the fillers.
That's right, exactly. Yeah. You're getting us.
I'm getting there.
Yeah. This, of course, is going to be a showstopper, and petunias generally are. And there's quite a wide variety of color in petunias. This is this beautiful two-tone yellow, very deep yellow center and a little more paler yellow around the edge. So there's that petunia. So we're going to actually push that in there. And sometimes you can just push it in there if the soil is nice and loose.
Beautiful.
I'm going to put a white in there because I always like white. This is actually Gypsophila. And Gypsophila is the same genus of the plant baby's breath.
Can I stick it in there?
Oh my goodness, great idea.
Yeah.
Where do you think it should go? It's a spiller.
It's a spiller.
Yeah.
So this is a spiller.
Yeah.
Would you put two spillers next to each other?
You could.
Or would you?
I like that.
Yeah.
There you go.
Spread it out.
There you go. Yeah. And just give it
Spread
a
the
new-
love.
You got it.
Well, Tim, this is just gorgeous. Thank you so much for showing us how to put it together.
It was my pleasure. I just love these hanging baskets. I think everybody should have one.
I agree for sure. And if you folks at home have any questions or you'd like us to explore any particular gardening topics, you can always send us your questions. Just email us at hereandnow.nl@cbc.ca. We'd love to hear from you.